Hey, welcome back, Rogues. And for this video, I'm bringing it into a little bit of a different direction, and I'm going to show you 3 different principles that I use myself to get myself out of the comfort zone and into doing something new. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I'm going to show you something that you can start today to get yourself on the right track and into doing something new. So first off, I just want to say, I hope you guys are having a great new year and doing some awesome things. I thought this was a great time to put out my video in line with the channel of doing new things. Being comfortable can be a slippery slope. It's a great thing in a lot of aspects, but it can be a little bit of a scary thing. Being comfortable can mean that you are just kind of doing the same thing over and over, feeling routine. So hopefully this video can help out and do something new in your life and kind of broaden your horizons to some degree. Even if there's just a tiny takeaway from this video that allows you to go out and do something new, that's a great step in the right direction. I will say, as a disclaimer, this is just what I do personally, and it might not work for everyone, so don't really rely on it if you feel like it's not working for you. This is just what I wanted to share and what works for me. But before we jump into it, if you could hit that subscribe button, it's just a small gesture, but helps me out tremendously. And at the end of the video, if you liked it, toss a like on it. All right, let's just get into it. So for the first one, scope. Scope is an interesting one. Scope is just knowing yourself, never comparing yourself to other people. So for instance, around you, people are always doing different things. They're always going out, they're going to restaurants, you're seeing your friends, your family, celebrity influencers doing these things on Instagram and Facebook and all these different platforms. It's hard not to compare. It's hard not to ask yourself, why am I not doing these fun things? Why am I not going out to these lavish restaurants or sitting poolside by this pool on a beach? You're gonna see these things and get discouraged right off the bat. And you're gonna say, that's way out of my scope. And you're already kind of writing yourself off of trying to get out there and do something new. And I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy a plane ticket and fly across the world or go and reserve a 5-star Michelin restaurant or really anything of that magnitude. But what I am saying is understand yourself, like know what works for you. Don't ever compare yourself to other people's tip of the iceberg, because really that's all you're seeing. There's so much more to their life that is going into it that you never see, stress or you're really just seeing the best parts, and it's terrible to compare your whole life to the best parts of someone else. So on this earth, no one knows yourself better than you do. Really, if it's just going to do a day trip to the town next to you because there was a coffee shop that looked cool, that's awesome. You're getting out there and doing something new. So allow yourself to get out there and just do something that you're not familiar with. And just overall, don't let anyone influence your scope. Like, you know what works best for you. And you know what works best for your finances, your mental capacity, your social capacity, and your time capacity. These are huge things, and you know better than anyone else how much of those 4 things you're willing to spend. So just make your own path, make your own adventure. Allow them to look at you and be like, wow, I wish I could do that thing that they're doing. Just know yourself and know what you're comfortable with, because otherwise you'll just get burnt out. So next up is reward, and reward's like a little weird one for me, but it really means the most to me because in a lot of ways it helps me balance my life. For me personally, when I was younger, I would always feel guilty doing new things. I would always feel like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't put the money forth to it. I shouldn't put the time to do this because, I should be doing other things that are productive in my life. That's where reward comes in. And over the last few years, I built this internal device in my mind where I just reward myself by doing new things. Let's say I would need to work out and hit a goal or do something internally where I'm just like, I need to lose weight or I feel heavy. 4 days a week, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do some cardio, some resistance training, I'm gonna get that done. And if I do that, if I hit that 4-day marker or working out, I'll go and check out that new barcade and I'll go and spend some money there. Maybe I'll order a pizza, get some drinks, hang out with friends there. It's gonna be a good time, but only if I do the workout. The reason for that balance is you wanna be able to go and do these new things and feel justified and feel rewarded that you're doing these new things. So I think that's really where my system of the balance of reward and, doing troublesome things or not something that's really high on your list to balance out and justifying going out and doing these new things. Just set the goal up front too, at the beginning of everything. So it really can help you motivate to get these things done too. So for instance, like say if you wanted to learn an instrument and play piano or something like that, you're like, okay, well, I'll set an hour a day. And if I get that hour a day, I'll go to that restaurant that I wanted to go to. Or I'll go to this new indoor cart place that I've always wanted to go to. I keep seeing it on Instagram. So if I put myself forward and practice, I'll deserve going to that. And you really won't think twice about it, which is the beauty of rewarding yourself and balancing it with putting the work forward first and then the reward at the end. It's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, because you're doing things that you necessarily don't want to do, crossing it off a list, and doing something cool at the end of it. So it's really a give and take and a balancing act. It just gets easier and easier as you go, and working out 4 days a week, or learning a language 4 days a week, or playing piano a couple hours a week, whatever your tedious task may be, will just get easier and easier, and you'll be more engaged and more routined with doing it. It's just kind of all encompassing. And lastly is like kind of the most obvious one. And a lot of people could be afraid of this word, could be familiar with this word. Commitment is very important. Commitment's like holding yourself accountable. Similarly, how I mentioned in the previous one, if you don't get the hard stuff out of the way, you got to really commit and hold yourself accountable. So commitment and self-accountability are one and the same. The way that I try to commit myself with doing these new things and getting comfortable with doing new things is like trying to be upfront. For instance, if you wanted to go and start doing a yoga class and really commit to it, it's all kind of hearsay until you actually do it. But the way that I really found helps you out getting to that point of doing it is doing any tiny step to kind of subtly commit yourself to getting out there and doing it. For instance, with the yoga class, go online and look up yoga classes and put your name on a list. If there's yoga class signups, get your name on that list. You will feel committed to doing it. There's an app called Meetup. There's so many different things that you can get out there and socialize. It's just all about signing yourself up, and it will help you commit yourself to actually getting out there. It's kind of like the essence of a personal trainer. A lot of people like personal trainers because personal trainer will hold them to a commitment to coming into the gym. Otherwise, it's just up to them to hold themselves to the commitment. And, most of the time people will kind of be lenient on themselves. So if you're able to sign up for something, join a group where you're at least accountable by them to some degree to show up. And the antidote that I'll share that really jump-started everything for me was when I was growing up, I always wanted to travel to Japan. It was always on my list of things that I wanted to do. And then once I got a real job and started making money, it started becoming more and more feasible. But at the start of every year, I kept saying, well, this will be the year that I'll go to Japan. I'll make it happen. I'll go to Japan and I'll make it happen. And then that year rolled around and nothing happened. And at the end of that year, I'd always be like, this year would be the year that I'll make it happen. That year would end and, I had a drive to do it, but no real commitment. So the way that I did it is I bought a plane ticket on a whim. I was frustrated with kind of just saying it over and over in each year and being that guy that's just like, yeah, I'll get to it next time. I'll get to it next time. Buying that plane ticket really locked me in and got it done. And I didn't look back. Once I bought that ticket, I was committed, and I convinced myself I was committed. I was able to lock my brain into that mindset of, well, I'm gonna do it. I had no experience traveling out to Asia, and I just made it work because I made that commitment. So again, I'm not saying that you need to do extravagant things like buy a plane ticket, but there's a lot of free things that you can do. There's a lot of stuff online that you can sign up for like lessons or people that want to help you out. Like if you wanted to learn an instrument, you wanted to learn a language, you wanted to go and do like a park meetup or play a sport, anything you want. There's so many different opportunities that you can find to go out and just sign your name up and get yourself committed to doing something where you're being held accountable by other people. If there's anything to say about commitments, I will say life will go on and work itself around your commitments. Depending on how big and small they are, it doesn't really matter. Over time, everything will heal. You keep it in your scope. You keep it into a range that you can afford mentally, socially, financially, and you can manage it. Everything will work out around your commitments. So those are the big three. Those are the three that I really wanted to share: scope, reward, and commitment. And with those 3, that brings us to the end of the video. But I promise you guys, there's something that you guys can do today that I did actually a few years ago that really helped me get into a routine of doing something new. Grab yourself a piece of paper, or if you're on your phone, just like make a note list. And with that note list, write big, and then underneath it, small. And under the big one, write a big goal that you really want to do at the end of the month. It could be anywhere from taking a 2-day trip to the city near you, or buying a drone, or doing something unique that's just a little bit more out of the comfort zone that you're used to. Then, under the small one, list 3 things underneath it that you can accomplish within the upcoming weeks for that month. And with a month off, of course, you always need that leeway to kind of have a week off, you're busy, whatever. These could be as small as just making a new meal that you've never made before. Use an ingredient that you've never cooked with but looks good. You saw Binging with Babesh or your favorite YouTuber make like a delicious meal. Try to mimic that meal. Or go for a walk on this new bike path or an area that you've heard about, your coworkers, your friends, someone's talked about. Just go check that out. Even something just as small as starting a new book that you've always wanted to read. Take some time out of your day to read a new book. Or take some time out of the week to go watch YouTube about woodworking or some hobby that's always interested you. So this may look like just a very layman list of just things that you want to do, but really hold yourself accountable to the small things each week. Try to get those little small things done within a month's time, and it will start to get you on this routine of just kind of getting out of your comfort zone with these small little tasks. It will force yourself to get into the mindset to be like, hey, I can do this easy thing. I saw this thing on the TV. I wanted to make it, I made it. I saw this instrument, I sat down with it, I played a chord with the instrument, you know, mission accomplished. I can do anything. I think when you get into the mindset where you're comfortable, you get a little hard on yourself and don't really want to learn new things. So if you're able to cross these little things off your list, you can definitely cross the big one off your list and kind of snowball into doing that big thing. But that being said, I hope these things help you. And thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Honestly, it means so much to me for you guys watching my videos. I love the fact that I can make videos and put it out there and share my ideas. So leave a comment down below if there's something new, awesome that you want to try. I would be so curious to hear what you guys are interested in doing and want to do new in this new year. And I'll see you rogues later. Till the next one.